Hello everybody, welcome back to Ducktown Part 2. In this video, I'm walking around the inside of the Ducktown Elementary School, and right now I'm actually starting on the second floor. I'm not totally sure why I decided to do that, but I mean, it's a good choice. I actually really liked the upstairs of the school from a urbex stand of point because it wasn't as restored and refinished as like downstairs is. You can see chip paint, you can see broken air conditioners. It's just not really restored as much as downstairs is. You can see the paint's not finished, but on this trip to this school, it was one of the best trips I've ever taken, period. The drive up there was amazing. The school, this school, I gotta tell you guys, from rewatching this footage and editing out about 40 or 50% of what I shot to make this kind of a manageable video for YouTube, it doesn't even fully encapsulate how great this location is. You can see in these classrooms, like, this was a school. I mean, obviously it was a school, but you can feel the history of it. You can look down this hallway and you can imagine kids going to their lockers between class, on their way to class. I don't know what the story is with this chair. I love it sitting there so much. I just had to... I photographed it and filmed it because it felt so sad, but it felt so, like, almost detention-ish as well. Who knows if some little kid was sitting in this classroom after school because he did something he probably shouldn't have done, which I was that kid once or twice before. So my school wasn't this joyful, I would say. This is one thing that I absolutely love about this school is, like, they're on the walls they have these little trim pieces that are like little school buses or crayons or whatnot, and I absolutely love this Lance snack machine. I've never seen a Lance snack machine before. I couldn't even tell you the year on it. Maybe 80s, 70s, maybe. I'm not totally sure. I thought it was so cool. It was in a really random spot, which I assume it got moved up from the cafeteria, which we'll go into seeing it more later on down the episode, but it was all there. Like, you had the little spindles down at the bottom where, they would go in these little top racks, and, you guys have obviously seen a snack machine before. You know how it works and what the little spindles do and stuff like that. It was just so cool to see it. And then, finding these little things like this on the blackboard where, you've got an actual school schedule for classes right here. This is so cool to see. And it's something that, in most urbex places, you get to a location where it's just graffitied to hell. Scrappers have been in there. They've torn up the walls. They've gutted everything to get all the copper wiring out. There's trash everywhere. And this was, when I was driving up here to film this location, I got permission from the owners, and I wasn't sure what to expect. Part of me was just expecting this clapped out, the roof missing, the floors are creaky, you can't go up on the second floor, and then I pull up to the location. The owner is actually out here most of the time doing restorations, doing repairs, and I mean, it shows just how much they care about this building to bring it back to its former glory, to clean it up, to make it look nice, and you'll see when we get to the downstairs portion just how much that they've done to restoring it. But I really wanted to start up here on the second floor first, like I said, because it's more bare bones, it's more urbexy. As you can see on the walls too, like, this is what I was talking about with like the little trim pieces. Like, you have the little cute school buses and stuff like that. It just feels like when this was an active school, this was a fun place. You know, kids came here, you know, even though this was school, I mean, you still had PE, you had music, you went to the library. Like, I remember in my elementary school and my middle school, we had this exact same schedule, and you know, it was really fun. I think we had more PE than these kids had. I think we had like 3, maybe 4 days, but it's so cool to see this stuff because once you grow up, you know, past high school, you know, even past college, you kind of forget about all these little small details, like having PE, having this little closet here where you put your backpack in, for instance, or having these little trim wallpapers on the side. You know, even though there's no teachers here anymore, there's no desks in this room, there's no books, there's no assignment, it still feels like a great place, which is kind of more than I could say for my school. Like, my freaking high school looked and felt like a prison. Just white walls, no decorations, no nothing. This was a door I actually don't think I went into the first time when I went to go take pictures of this school. And I absolutely love this room. Just for the simple reason of that minty green paint that's on the walls, that's peeling under the thick coats of lead paint. You have this like really cool like mint chocolate chip or mint cookies and cream ice cream green. It's so old school. It's something you won't ever see like anywhere else. Well, you won't see any place modern, I would say that. You got the classic pencil sharpener here, like not electric. And I was really surprised, like, that pencil sharpener had probably been there since day one, if not, you know, and it still was just completely smooth. You know, it turned freely. What I absolutely loved about this place was everything worked electric wise for the most part. There were some areas, like, I don't think this area the lights worked, but you know, going into a abandoned place and, you know, not necessarily needing a camera, or you need a camera, but not needing a light, and being able to literally just flick a light switch and the area you're in lights up, that is so understatably amazing. Now, what really sucked about the library, when I walked through the first time, because how I usually film a location is I photograph everything first, and then I go through and take videos of it. So what happened the second time I was walking through here was a vehicle had rolled up outside, and the owner, you know, let the people in the vehicle walk in, which is fine, you know. Just make sure, if you ever do come to this location, if you know where this location is at, do not, and I cannot stress this enough, do not just walk in here, because the owner has a lot of personal stuff in here. The owner has tools and stuff in here, and they don't need it stolen. They don't need a bunch of people that they don't know walking through here, and the owner has arrested multiple people. So back to the story of it. I was in here to film the library, and like right up behind me was like a group of people, and I couldn't really film out in the actual library. I didn't get to film the shelves. So I'm going to be inserting photos right now, so you guys can kind of get a little bit of a closer look to see, how the library actually looks. I absolutely hate that this little window got broken. It's so cute the way they painted it. But you can see the shelves. Like, there's no books left, unfortunately. A couple desks in there. It's very empty, but, you know, that's fine. It's totally fine because there's just so much to see here. Like I said, I filmed allergies, 15 ways to relief. And trust me, if it had been summer, I probably would have needed it. I love this alphabet parade. I wish it had been 100% complete. It's missing the Y and the Z, I believe, but like, it's so cool to see this up there. Yeah, no Y, no Z, unfortunately. Now downstairs, this is actually where I came into the school, and I was just blown away by what I see here. Like, the floors are just waxed. You have this beautiful light fixture that's just, it reeks 40s and 30s. The brick is in fantastic shape. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to film in the auditorium, and I had to be a lot more careful with what I was filming downstairs because the owners were on site. They are having personal stuff. They had their children with them, and I'm not trying to put them on camera. And I had exclusive instructions on what I could and could not film. Right now, I'm in the office. The principal's office had nothing in it. There was no desk or anything like that. But this is like where the receptionist would sit. Like, this is like what I assume is like the fire alarm system for the school. You can see the Ducktown School old font. Like, that's like 50s font, maybe 40s or 50s, maybe 60s. But this is where the receptionist would stay when, like, your little badass would get in trouble and get sent to the office, like I did a few times. They'd sit in here and you'd wait for the frickin' principal to call you in there for your death sentence. So now this is actually the main entryway into the school. You have another one of those beautiful light pieces that is just totally undamaged, like the bottom pieces there. This was actually the very first classroom I walked into downstairs, and I was just so happy. Like, I was so giddy because you see those little, like, the Noah's Ark little thing, like all the cute little animals and stuff like that. I was just like, this takes me back to when things were so much simpler, where all you had to really worry about was going to school, learning some simple stuff, and then having recess, playing kickball, playing dodgeball, going on the slides, going on the monkey bars, going on the swings, really having fun, being a kid, making friends. And then you get to go home, and then you watch Power Rangers, you watch Pokemon, you have a childhood, and it's just something that when you think back on it, you just really miss it. And this place was just so amazing to be in. You can see this light fixture is just, it's so beautiful, it's so retro. Like, this place is just, I can't even looking back on this video, I'm just so excited about this place. I love it so much. I would say this is my number one favorite urbex place I've ever been to. Unfortunately, this place will not be abandoned for an extreme amount of time longer, unfortunately, because class of 67, 68, Montgomery. These are the these are the bell clocks that, when it's time for class, these are what sets the classes off and all that. I thought these were so cool looking. Very old school. But what I was mentioning before was the owner's actually planning on turning this building into a multi-use place. It won't be a school anymore. the from what I remember him saying, the main thing was going to be a restaurant, apartments like condos or something on the second floor, business space on the first floor and stuff like that, which that's a very cool idea. It does suck that it's not going to be a school anymore. I think it's a beautiful building to still be as a school, but obviously, things. There are other schools in the area, so this one isn't really needed anymore for its original purpose. You have an old school or an old stamp pad, probably from when this place was still active. It's pretty sweet to find. This was actually the teacher's lounge, I believe. It's where they would come in and talk crap about their students. Probably had a few teachers talk about me in there at one point. This was one of my favorite classrooms because it's just all blue. The lighting in here was so cool. Even the chalkboard, it was like it felt blue. Like this is just such a classic urbex room, and unfortunately, I cut the hell out of that clip. Gosh. This was another awesome room with more of those little details on the thing. I thought this was so cool. 7th grade, 1995, all these handprints, These are the handprints of people that have, gone on to become, cops, lawyers, doctors, anything and whatever they wanted to be in life. This is where it started for them. If you went to the school, throw down in the comments what it was like back in the day. Did you guys have fun in class? Did you guys, have fun out on the monkey bars and stuff like that? Like, let me know what school was like for you. I also love this room because it's still pretty set up like a schoolroom. Oh, snap. It's me. It's Scotty P. I was bundled up in this place like crazy. Like, it was like 20 degrees outside when I went to film this place, and like I had a hoodie and a major winter coat and gloves and a mask and a scarf and leg warmers, and I was still freezing to death in this place. Also, somehow I entered the wrong way here, and I was just like, this was a terrible mistake. And then I left the property the correct way, and I was just like, I really wish I had just come up this nice smooth road. I love all the different type of desks in here, and I hate these projectors so much because like every class that I had that the teacher used a projector, it always seemed like the teacher had like that doctor handwriting scribble crap where you couldn't read what he was writing. And then my absolute favorite room in this entire place, the gymnasium. This gym, oh my gosh. It smelled like that old wood. Like, it just was so cool being in this gym. Like, even though it was pretty small, you've got your bleachers and stuff up there. Like, this gym was so nice. It just brought back so many memories of, like I said before, playing dodgeball and, playing basketball and, wonderfully preserved scoreboard. Looks great. Looks like you could probably turn it on and it would come, flicker to life. I'm not sure where you would actually operate the scoreboard though, because I don't see like an office or anything. But then again, I wasn't necessarily looking all over the place for some reason. The mascot is still on the center court. If you guys went to the school, let me know what the mascot was, because I didn't see like home of the blank 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 or whatever, and I don't want to use the term like the Washington Redskins, for instance, or whatever. Yeah, I don't know if it's Redskins, Comanches, Cherokee, or whatever the term was that they used for their mascots. This was the school in 2002, which I'm not sure when exactly it closed down, but I thought it was really cool having these pictures here. I think this is like a concept painting of the school, like what they wanted it to look like when they were building it. Another awesome photo from, I believe, 1993. Not sure if I totally clipped out the date on there. Another one of those really cool old school lights with a heater in the corner. Now I'm back to that creepy dark hallway stuff where, as a normal urbex place, I'm like, ooh, I don't know if I want to go down there. I don't know if I want to take this turn. Oh no, it's a dark hallway. Oh wait, I can just turn the light on. And that's what I just absolutely loved about this place. Like, normally I'd be like, ah, shit, I gotta make sure my light's on full power while I'm going down here. But no, like, this was the best place ever. I could just flip the switch and, the school just comes back to life, So, I'm definitely very thankful that I got the chance to explore this school. I thought it was actually really interesting how they have these slots between like the windows, and like it looks like there's almost like I don't know if it's like a double ceiling or something, but it's just a weird little design feature that I thought was interesting on there. We have a great close up of the door. I guess I could have edited that out. Walking down the long hallway, the creepy hallway. I thought it was actually really interesting. Right here, these sinks are right across from the actual cafeteria. And I thought it was actually really interesting. Like, the hallway to the cafeteria is really small for, like, a school. Like, granted, these are, like, elementary school kids, but, like, you really have a very, I don't know, like, secluded entryway into the cafeteria. Right here's where the kids would walk through that door. They'd come up to the tray, get their forks and spoons and whatnot, get their food served to them, and they'd exit out that door on the other side. The owner said I couldn't fully go in this room because I guess there was some water on the floor and there's some electrical stuff, so I was just being safe and not entering there. And then we get to this beautiful cafeteria. I love this cafeteria so much because of not just the walls, but these tables. These tables remind me of like old Taco Bell, old Burger King, old McDonald's, like these 80s, 70s, 90s retro, cafeteria chairs, man. I love this stuff so much. And, you'll get to see here on the wall, like, this mural is just so amazing. Like, having lunch in here as a kid was probably so cool. Like, it's just so well decorated. I love this school so much. Like, I cannot get over this place. Even watching this video back, it's just amazing to see again. It's such a happy place almost. Like, it almost makes you want to go back to being a kid again. You got the huge sinks. Like, I worked in a car manufacturer place, and they had those exact same sinks, so I thought it was pretty cool. Like, those same sinks are still in use. Now, I thought this room back here was actually a little bit weird because it's a classroom that's completely separated from every other classroom. The only thing that's by is the cafeteria. I don't know what technically it was for because of the gym equipment in here. It might have been for like a school, like PE class or whatever. But here's the thing that I have a serious issue with is Winnie the frickin' Pooh. I'm so shocked that this is still on the walls here, because I've heard stories before about Disney finding schools like this where, there's Winnie the Pooh or Mickey Mouse or whatnot on the walls, and they literally have a lawyer make the school take them down. And I think Warner Brothers had gotten wind of that, and they had actually went to the school and painted like Bugs Bunny and all them on the walls to replace, Winnie the Pooh and stuff like that, which I thought that was cool, but kind of a dick move on Disney's part. We're in the locker room right now. I'm assuming it's the guys' locker room, but we're actually coming to the very end of the video, and I really want to give you guys a huge thank you. I want to give the owners a huge thank you, and I'll see you on the next video.